Good afternoon. Welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. In the morning hours today, the police command of the archipelago celebrated 131 years that this institution has been present throughout the country.
In the framework of the 131st anniversary of the National Police, the Police Command of the Archipelago of San Andres paid tribute to the institution with the imposition of 43 awards to men and women who performed their work wearing police uniforms. Those in charge of placing the honors were the commander of the police department, Doris Edith Monsalva Pinto, and the governor of the department, Everett Hawkins Shogreen.
Today, the National Police is celebrating its anniversary. We are celebrating 131 years of service to our Colombian community, 131 years of gallantry, of work, of dedication towards the community.
At the end of the event, a wreath was laid in honor of the fallen officers.
Today is a special moment because they offered their lives in fulfillment of their duty. Through this recognition, we want to exalt all those who accompany us from heaven for what they did for this police department. We thank God for those families who remained on earth for their pride, because even in the midst of sadness, He allows us to pay this heartfelt tribute with love and sincerity to our police officers and their families.
In this way, the National Police celebrates its anniversary in the archipelago, commemorating the date on which they began their work in the country, November 5th, 1891.
The Carolina Environmental Corporation aims to improve technology to control commercial fishing vessels in the department and thus protect marine areas from overexploitation.
The work agenda of the Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Catlina, Coralina, was successfully completed, where the Board of Directors and coordinators of the Corporation learned about the satellite software that allows for improving maritime transparency and control over commercial fishing vessels in our archipelago.
It is important to mention that within the framework of the National Geographic Expedition, we achieved this support with this international platform, which basically provides a technology that we did not have in the archipelago, with satellite images and other types of analysis that allow us to detect different things in the protected marine areas, such as fishing vessels within areas where fishing is not allowed. Thanks to this alliance with National Geographic, from October 27 to October 31st, they were here in San Andres, and we were able to do some exercise using the platform and including other technologies for the terrestrial and marine part. We were able to detect an artisanal fishing boat affiliated to the island of San Andres that was fishing in a non-take zone of the marine protected area in Quitasueño, and let's say that we will begin the administrative procedures that may be necessary.
It should be noted that initially some training work will be carried out regarding the operation of this software to ensure that the fishing trips are given for an activity in the legal margin and thus control fishing in conservation and preservation areas and special use and sustainable uses as established in the Agreement 002 of 2019.
San Andres and Providence shine with their participation in the DEMA Show 2022 that takes place in Orlando, Florida. Several businessmen from the islands participate in the activities and seminars developed, according to the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Jennifer Yepes.
The islands are present at the DEMA Show 2022 in Orlando, Florida. Among the activities in which they participate, there are seminars on conservation, quality and safety in diving, a digital marketing for diving, among others.
A series of stands, not only to make visible the companies that manage diving in the world, but also the offer in the different destinations in the world. We are, as entrepreneurs here, supporting strategies for successful connections and visibility of our destination, as is the archipelago, which is one of the main destinations in Colombia in terms of diving, and from which we receive about 8% of the tourists who visit us.
with the participation of diving companies in the department to seek new strategies, new offers, and how to position the products of the island in other markets to engage in negotiation with the supply of diving. The DEMA show is a specialized diving event held annually in Las Vegas. The diving industry meets in one of the largest events in the sector. The island could not miss it.
And beginning November 8th, a workshop for children and teenagers who love percussion will held at the Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic, taught by the well-known musician El Chavo. Here are the details.
To the sound of drums, maracas, and other percussion instruments, a workshop entitled A Concert for Peace, Anglo-Caribbean Drums and Percussion will be held at the Cultural Center of the Bank of the Republic to enrich the knowledge of children and teenagers in arts through this type of music.
Everybody who want to participate in this workshop is welcome. We want to have John DeLaos, also known as El Chavo. He's a local musician and he wants to direct workshop where kids and young people can learn percussion. So if you have interest in learning music, if you have drums at home, if you have some maracas, if you have one horse jabon, you can bring your instruments, participate in this activity, and start out in the world of music. If you already are practicing other instruments, well, this is just an opportunity to learn more of our traditions.
The activities especially aim at members of the peace bands of the educational institutions of San Andres between the age of 7 and 14 years old who wish to improve their performance techniques linked to the project Peace Takes the Floor in San Andres. The workshop will be held from November 8 to 18 at the Games and Workshop Room of the Cultural Center from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Those interested may register at the following email address: mgarcisa@banrep.gov.co.
And in other news, registration is now open to participate in the Biden Regional Dialogue to be held in San Andres.
The Minister of Housing, City and Territory, Catalina Velasco Campuzano, informed that registration are now open to participate in person regional Vinculate Dialogue to be held on November 9 on the island of San Andres. Prior to this dialogue on November 8, there will be a preparation called National Development Plan Input Workshop at the Bombona Educational Center, Southwest B in Providence from 8 in the morning to 1 p.m. For the development of the regional Vinculate Dialogue, thematics table will address the issue of territorial planning and total peace, human security, and social justice, the human rights of food, energy, transportation, and environmental justice, as well as social regional convergence among the axes of the conversation. The activity will begin at 8 in the morning and will last until 3 p.m. on November at the facilities of the Bolivariano Institute.
For this week's COVID-19 report, the island continues with one case of coronavirus according to the National Health Institute. Here is the full report.
The National Health Institute published through its webpage the numbers of cases reported during the current week in the country, where the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina continues with only one case. The total figure for the archipelago remains unchanged with 10,344 cases reported. The number of reported cases for women on the island, 5,587, and 4,746 men, for a total of 10,146 recovered patients. The islands continue with 155 deceased patients in total for both municipalities of the archipelago. On the other hand, vaccination against coronavirus showed a total of 147,653 total doses applied. It should be noted that the virus continues to be latent and mutating worldwide. Therefore, the Ministry of Health invites the community to continue with the hygiene measures and the use of face masks in health centers and other related facilities. Also, people who have not yet completed their vaccination schedule should approach the health insurance company to complete it.
Now let's get to know other facts that today are news in our brief news section.
The Animal Heart Foundation will conduct from September 10th to the 14th a day of animal sterilization that aims to perform 1,000 surgeries on pets, as well as the implementation of educational workshops and consultations. This activity seeks to reduce the rate of homeless animals. The departmental government continues working on the solid waste cleanup days around the island. This time, they were in the sector of Serebie, Red Ground, Cabañas, Around the Rock, and Campo Hermoso, where they collected white line waste, tires, wood, bars, irons, mattresses, and others. The Rizal authorities of the archipelago met with the departmental government to analyze the human rights situation of the Rizal people in the company of the UN Human Rights, the ambassadors of Sweden, Ireland, and Canada in order to listen to their concerns regarding the social, cultural, and economic problems, their initiatives, and procedures.
And this is all for now, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. in our central broadcast of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.